Hi everyone, you're watching Video Gaming Over 40 and this is VGO Girl, and today we're talking about ordering Chaos 2 Redemption for the iOS and Android, and we're talking about how to get your jewelry. So if you look at the map, I'm in the main city and I am going to come over, and there's a few vendors for getting jewelry and they're all different levels of jewelry. So some of these vendors, I think these two over here are going to be the main ones you go to. The other ones with Epic Challenge, you really don't need to do anymore because those were for lower level jewelry. And now that you can kind of bypass all of the armor, you don't need to do them as much. But there are additional vendors over here if you want to get the other levels of jewelry. So to get your jewelry, you need two different things. The first thing you need are the world bosses. Now, I don't know how it is on other servers, but on our server, we start with the highest boss and we work our way down to the lowest so that we can hit all of the bosses to get as many stones as we can each time. Now, check your own separate limited time activity page for the exact times, because it's based off of the time zone as to when it displays it. So the first one here we're going to go to is Trevor, Servant of Chaos, and because it hasn't started yet, we can't use the redirect buttons, so we're going to go to Undermine South. So once you go ahead and zone in, you're just going to run straight across and past the mobs to where usually there's a lot of people standing. Now, I'm not going to show you a long drawn-out battle of each of the bosses because that's just pointless. Most of them are just straight DPS. Go ahead and kill them. There's a couple that are different. This is one of them, and you can see the little red bubble circles, just like Forgotten Mine and also the Scorpion world boss, which I'm not going to show you. There are these bubbled circles. Now, avoid them because they'll do damage to you. But when the boss spawns a kind of pet-like thing that just popped up there, move into the circle because he does an AoE effect, and for the longest time I couldn't figure out why I died every single time I got this boss, and it was because I didn't move into the circle when he did his AoE damage. So just make sure to do that, and then, you know, once he's dead, collect the chest and move on to the next one. So here again, we go for the highest boss first. So the next one in this time zone is the PvP boss. I cannot stand the PvP boss. This is my least favorite one. But if you're here, try not to do area of effect attacks. Just try to keep them straight attacks so you don't kill everybody around you, and eventually the boss will die and you can loot that chest as well. Okay, so moving right along, I wanted to show again how we really do this multiple world boss on our server. So we're going to go to the highest level boss here. This has 3 bosses during this time zone span, and the first one is the undead dragon one. So we zone into Bramble Woods and run up to the boss. Now again, with the other bosses, just, you know, this is a straight kill the boss kind of fight. Just stay out of the red. His red area is not that big, so it's really easy to avoid, and just, you know, do as much damage as you can. Now, a lot of times people will ask, why did I not get any loot on this boss? It's either because you died or because you didn't do enough damage. These are highly based on gear score, so if you don't do enough damage, you will not get any chests at the end. So if you are not getting any chests on the level 55 bosses, just make sure to go to a lower bosses and you should get a chest on those. Now, we just did the dragon and then we went to the triplicate one where you get the 3 mobs, and then we all zone back to the lowest level mob here. And if you notice, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, when I run up there, I'm pretty sure that this boss barely has any damage done. It's not even a quarter of the way down when I get there. So really, there's a couple people at each of the other bosses, but it really is heavily done by everybody goes to the top one, then the next, and then the lowest. That way everybody gets as many of the gems as they can. Now, just to go over some other things with this, you need the gems that you get from the world bosses, but the other thing you need is favor. So you get favor from your daily tasks there. If you do your dungeons random each time, you can get more favor that way. And then the other way is if you go into your map, there are a set of here we have the store. You can purchase favor this way. I typically don't do that, but if you're feeling desperate and you're almost there, if you have enough points, you can purchase favor through the shop from doing the blue quests. Those are all the little blue exclamation point quests. Now, if you go to any of your zones, these black exclamation point quests out here are your instant quests, and each of those give favor. So at least do your instant quests each day for your daily activities, and that should be sufficient. But if you really are trying to get that jewelry and push for it, you can run around to the different zones and do more than just the one set of instant quests. I like the instant quests in Drywind because they also, if you do the blue quests as you're going through doing the instant ones, you will also get stuff for your gems for your armor. So here, just kind of to finish up, this is another set of bosses. We're going through and doing the higher one. Again, nothing special. This one has a little bit more red zones to avoid, but as long as you have enough people there, he's gonna die. You're gonna get the chest, and then you can move on to the next boss. Again, if you're kind of low, do these world bosses anyway, even if your gear score isn't super high, because you will get jewelry from the drops. They are low level things, but at least you'll have some jewelry to help boost your gear score a little bit more. And we hope that you found this a little bit useful for how to get your jewelry and how to level it up. And you're watching Video Gaming Over 40. I have a lot of other guides on getting gold on your cards and things like that, so please check those out if you need additional help in ordering Chaos 2. And we hope that you found this helpful. You're watching Video Gaming Over 40. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.